Ladies and gentlemen, in a world that glorifies hustle, pressure and urgency, we often forget one essential truth. Sometimes the best thing you can do is relax. Yes, just relax and everything will come to you. That doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means aligning yourself with patience, trust and inner peace. When you are constantly chasing, forcing and controlling, you send out energy of lack and desperation. But when you learn to breathe, center yourself, and release the grip of anxiety, things have a way of flowing naturally. Relaxation is not laziness. It's often misunderstood in our fast-paced society, where constant motion is glorified and rest is mistaken for weakness. But true relaxation is not about doing nothing. It's about doing everything from a place of calm, clarity and balance. It's about taking intentional pauses to reconnect with your inner self, to listen to your thoughts without judgment, and to regain control over your emotions. When you relax, you give your mind space to breathe, and your body a chance to reset. You move from reacting to responding, from rushing to receiving. In this state, your decisions become wiser, your actions more effective, and your energy more magnetic. Many people push themselves to the edge, believing that success only comes to those who never stop grinding. But in truth, burnout blocks blessings. When you're constantly tense, stressed and overworked, you lose your creative flow, your intuition dulls, and your health suffers. Relaxation, on the other hand, enhances performance. It renews your strength, sharpens your focus, and opens your mind to ideas and inspiration that are otherwise drowned out by noise and anxiety. When you give yourself permission to relax, you allow life to unfold with greater ease. Relaxation is not the absence of effort. It is the presence of peace. It's the silent confidence that comes from knowing you're enough, and that things will come together in their right time. It's stepping back not because you're giving up, but because you're giving life room to work with you, not against you. So when the world pressures you to constantly do more, be more, and move faster, remember this: the strongest power often lies in the stillest moment. Relaxation is not a luxury, it's a necessary part of living a fulfilled, focused, and empowered life. Chasing creates resistance. When we constantly pursue something with desperation, anxiety, or the fear of losing out, we often push it further away. It's a paradox that many people don't understand. The more you force something to happen, the more you introduce resistance into the process. Whether it's love, success, or a personal goal, chasing implies that what you desire is not already on its way to you. It sends a signal to your subconscious and to the universe that you are in lack, that you don't have enough, that you are not enough, and that you must urgently grasp for what you want before it's gone forever. This energy creates tension not only within yourself, but also in the very things you're trying to attract. People can feel when you're desperate. Opportunities slip through your fingers when your mind is clouded with stress. In contrast, when you're relaxed and grounded, you exude calm confidence. You act from a place of worthiness, not scarcity. This doesn't mean you don't take action. It means your action comes from alignment, not fear. You begin to walk in the belief that what is yours is already making its way toward you. When you stop chasing, you create space for clarity, for inspiration, for natural alignment. Life isn't meant to be a constant pursuit. It's a rhythm of action and rest, desire and surrender. By stepping back, by allowing instead of forcing, you allow the right things to find you. And the truth is, what's truly meant for you will not require you to lose yourself chasing after it. It will meet you when you are calm, clear, and ready. So stop running after what should be flowing to you. Slow down, realign, and let it come. Nature operates effortlessly, and it's one of the most powerful lessons we can observe if we simply take the time to look around us. The sun does not struggle to rise each morning, nor does the moon beg to shine at night. Rivers do not force their way to the ocean, they simply follow the path carved out over time, flowing with grace and persistence. Trees grow steadily, not in haste, but in rhythm with the seasons, trusting that rain will fall when needed, and that light will return after every storm. Everything in nature moves in harmony with time, purpose and ease, not with panic, not with pressure, but with patience and quiet strength. There's a deep wisdom in the natural world that reminds us that everything unfolds in its own perfect moment. No flower ever blooms before it's ready. It doesn't rush its growth because another flower beside it is already open. It simply trusts the soil, the sun, and the process. Likewise, we must learn to trust our own seasons. There is a time to plant, a time to grow, a time to wait, and a time to reap. When we try to force something before its time, whether it's a relationship, a career goal, or personal transformation, we interrupt the natural rhythm and often end up creating more struggle for ourselves. Instead of fighting against the current of life, we should learn to flow with it. Just as nature does not apologize for its timing, we too must stop comparing our path to others, or rushing our journey, because we fear being left behind. What is aligned for us will arrive when we are aligned with it. When we tune into the wisdom of nature, we understand that effort does not always mean struggle, and that stillness is not stagnation. There's movement even in rest, and progress even in waiting. When we learn to operate like nature, with trust, grace and patience, we become more powerful, more peaceful, and more in sync with the life that is unfolding around us. Overthinking clouds clarity. It's like trying to see the stars through a stormy sky. The more we analyze, obsess and replay scenarios in our minds, the more confused and emotionally exhausted we become. Overthinking is the illusion of control. It gives us a false sense that if we just think about something long enough, we'll figure it out, or prevent pain. But in reality, overthinking is often the very thing that blocks our intuition, distorts our perception, and delays our progress. When we constantly think about what could go wrong, what someone might be thinking, or what we should have said or done, we step out of the present moment. We lose connection with our inner wisdom, and allow fear to take the driver's seat. Thoughts race back and forth, building stories that aren't rooted in truth, but in anxiety. And in that mental chaos, we start to make decisions from a place of pressure, rather than peace. The answers we seek can't find us when our minds are cluttered with noise and worry. Clarity doesn't come from overthinking, it comes from pausing, breathing and allowing space between thoughts. Just as muddy water settles when left undisturbed, our minds become clearer when we step away from the compulsion to think everything to death. Sometimes the wisest thing we can do is stop thinking and start trusting. When we quiet the mind, we begin to hear what our hearts have been trying to say all along. Insight arises, not because we forced it, but because we allowed it. It's important to recognize that not every question demands an immediate answer, and not every problem is solved through mental wrestling. Some things need time, distance and silence. The mind can be a tool, but it can also be a trap when it's left unchecked. Learning to release the need to overthink is an act of self-trust, a belief that life is unfolding as it should, and that we are equipped to handle each moment as it comes, not 10 steps ahead in imagined scenarios. In that mental stillness, clarity begins to rise like the morning sun after a long night. Trust the process. These are simple words, yet they carry a depth that many of us struggle to embrace. In a world that demands instant results, fast answers, and immediate gratification, trusting the process can feel uncomfortable. It means surrendering control, being patient in uncertainty, and believing that something is happening behind the scenes, even when you can't yet see the outcome. But this kind of trust isn't passive. It's a quiet strength. It's waking up every day and doing your part with faith, even when progress seems invisible. It's continuing to water the seed, knowing it takes time to break through the soil and grow into something beautiful. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is moving, days when you question if your efforts matter, times when you're tempted to give up because results haven't shown up on your timeline. But growth is rarely visible in the beginning. Much of it happens in silence, in the dark, beneath the surface, just like roots growing underground. If you pull the plant too early to check on its progress, you risk killing it. Similarly, constantly doubting your journey and trying to rush your breakthrough only creates stress and disconnection from your purpose. When you trust the process, you stop needing every step to make sense right away. You understand that detours are not failures, but redirections. Delays are not denials, but preparations. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has a way of aligning people, places and timing in ways we could never orchestrate ourselves. Our only job is to keep showing up, with integrity, with belief and with commitment, even when the path looks unclear. That's what real trust looks like, showing up when it's hard, staying grounded when things don't go as planned, and believing in the unseen progress. Too often, we place conditions on our peace. We say, I'll be calm when this happens, or I'll feel confident when I see results. But trust flips that. It says I'll be calm asterisk, before asterisk it happens, because I know it's already on its way. Trust is a mindset. It's choosing to believe that life has a rhythm, and that what's meant for you is already in motion, even if it hasn't arrived yet. When you live from that belief, your journey becomes lighter, your mind becomes clearer, your energy becomes more magnetic, because instead of chasing and stressing, you're aligned. And when you're aligned, what's meant for you flows with much less resistance. What's meant for you will find you. This truth carries a deep sense of peace if you're willing to embrace it. In life, we often chase people, opportunities and dreams with a desperate urgency, as if we might lose them forever if we don't run fast enough. But in doing so, we overlook the quiet power of alignment. What is truly meant for you doesn't need to be chased. It doesn't require force, manipulation, or endless striving. It has a way of arriving in its own time, sometimes when you least expect it, but always when you are truly ready to receive it. There is a certain grace in trusting that what belongs in your life will not pass you by, that the right relationships, the right career, the right healing, they are already on their way to you, not because you fight for them every second, but because they are meant for your growth and your journey. What's meant for you recognizes your energy. It matches your effort. It honors your values. And if something leaves or doesn't work out, as painful as it may be, perhaps it wasn't meant to stay. We often try to hold on to things out of fear, thinking we can't survive without them. But the truth is, letting go is sometimes the most powerful act of faith. Life has a rhythm, and part of living in harmony with it is learning to release control. That doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. You still prepare, you still work, you still show up as your best self, but you do so from a place of confidence, not desperation. You don't beg for love, you become love. You don't chase success, you embody the qualities that success is drawn to. You focus on becoming who you need to be, so that when what's meant for you arrives, you are already in a place to receive it with grace and gratitude. Timing is a key part of this truth. Something might be meant for you, but not in the moment you want it. You may need to grow, shift or heal before it can truly align, and that's okay. The delay is not a denial, it's a divine pause, a space where transformation happens, so that you don't just receive what's meant for you, but you can sustain it. So let go of the fear that you're running out of time. Let go of the pressure to force everything into place. What's meant for you carries a signature only your soul can recognize. It will find you, not when you're frantic, but when you're free. Not when you're chasing, but when you're becoming. Energy attracts energy, This isn't just a feel-good phrase, it's a truth that plays out in every area of life. The energy you carry into a room, a conversation, a decision or a dream, silently communicates what you believe about yourself and the world. If you constantly vibrate at the frequency of fear, neediness, or lack, you often attract experiences that confirm those very feelings. On the other hand, when your energy is calm, grounded, confident, and aligned with your intentions, you become a magnet for things that match that frequency. People are far more intuitive than we realize. They may not be able to name it, but they can feel when someone is desperate, anxious, or trying too hard to impress. That kind of energy repels rather than attracts. But when someone walks in with peace in their eyes, with no need to prove anything, their presence becomes inviting. The same applies to opportunities. Life responds to the energy you put out. If you're constantly forcing, doubting, or second-guessing, you create energetic blocks. But when you trust, relax, and stay in the energy of belief and openness, you create space for things to flow toward you. Your thoughts, emotions, and intentions all carry energy. That's why it's important to check in with yourself often, not just about what you want, but about how you're showing up while waiting for it. Are you anxious and tense, trying to control the outcome, or are you relaxed, trusting that what's for you will come in due time? When you focus not just on the external actions, but on your internal state, you start to shift your entire experience. You don't just take action, you take aligned action, which is far more powerful. This is why inner work matters. Meditation, journaling, gratitude, reflection. These are not luxuries, they are tools to help you tune your energy. You don't attract what you want just because you desire it. You attract what you are prepared for energetically. So if you want love, become love. If you want peace, live in peace. If you want abundance, carry the mindset of abundance in how you speak, act, and think. The more you align your energy with what you seek, the more effortlessly it begins to show up in your life. You don't have to chase what you can attract. But attraction doesn't come from wishful thinking. It comes from inner alignment, from embodying the energy of what you desire, even before it arrives. When you get your energy right, life has a remarkable way of meeting you with matching experiences, people, and moments that reflect who you've become. Patience is power, though often underestimated. It is one of the greatest strengths a person can cultivate. In today's world, where everything is available in an instant, we've been conditioned to expect fast results, quick fixes, and immediate gratification. But real growth, lasting change, and meaningful success rarely happen overnight. They require time, consistency, and an unwavering belief that the seeds you've planted will bloom when they're meant to. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means remaining calm and committed while you wait for the results of your efforts to unfold. True patience comes from trust. Trust in the timing of your life. Trust in your own path, and trust that everything is aligning, even when it's not visible yet. It's easy to stay calm when things are going your way. But real patience shows itself when progress is slow, when doors are taking longer to open, or when you feel like you're walking through fog with no clear end in sight. In those moments, patience is not weakness, it's courage. It's the quiet decision to keep showing up, to keep believing, and to keep growing, even when there's no applause or guarantee. When you are patient, you begin to understand that not everything needs to happen now, and that not now doesn't mean never. It means you are still in a phase of becoming. It means the situation, the people involved, or even you yourself may need more time to evolve. Patience gives space for wisdom to emerge, for healing to take root, and for clarity to sharpen. It allows you to move through life with grace instead of desperation. It shifts your focus from getting there to appreciating where you are right now. So many people give up not because they're incapable, but because they're impatient. They abandon their journey too soon, right before the breakthrough. But those who possess patience stay the course. They understand that real success is not rushed. It is built, slowly, steadily, and with intention. Patience allows you to endure the in-between stages, where the discomfort is high, but the reward is not yet visible. And in doing so, it strengthens your character and deepens your resilience. In a world that constantly pushes you to move faster, produce more, and never pause, patience becomes a quiet rebellion, a powerful act of self-respect. It says, I am not on anyone else's clock. I trust the process. I am not falling behind. I am right where I need to be. When you embody patience, you don't chase results, you attract them by staying rooted, steady, and aligned. And in the end, the person who waits with strength is often the one who receives the most, not because they hurried, but because they endured. Inner peace is the true success, far beyond material wealth, social status, or recognition. Inner peace is what we are all ultimately searching for. It's the calm that stays with you when circumstances are uncertain. It's the stillness that anchors you when life feels chaotic. You can have everything the world calls success, money, titles, admiration. But if your mind is restless, your heart is heavy, and your soul is anxious, then what do you truly have? Success without peace is just noise. It looks good from the outside but feels empty within. Many people chase external goals believing they'll find peace once they arrive. I'll be happy when I get the job. I'll feel calm once I find love. I'll feel successful when I buy the house. But peace doesn't come from achieving something. It comes from becoming someone. Someone who is content in the present, grounded in who they are, and unshaken by the temporary highs and lows of life. True peace is not found in perfect circumstances. It's created within, through acceptance, self-awareness and trust. When you cultivate inner peace, you become unshakable. That doesn't mean you don't feel pain or frustration. It means you don't let those emotions control you. You begin to respond instead of react. You become less swayed by the opinions of others, less shaken by setbacks, and less addicted to validation. Inner peace gives you clarity to make wise decisions, the patience to wait for the right timing, and the strength to walk away from what doesn't serve your well-being. It is your inner compass, guiding you toward what's real, meaningful, and lasting. The world outside will always be loud. There will always be challenges, temptations, and distractions. But when you have peace within, you stop searching for it elsewhere. You become the calm in the storm, the light in your own darkness. And ironically, it's this kind of peace that attracts true success. Because from that place of stillness, you move with purpose, not pressure. You pursue your goals from fulfillment, not emptiness. You connect with others from wholeness, not need. Peace is not a passive state. It's an empowered choice. It means deciding each day not to be ruled by fear, comparison, or chaos. It means protecting your energy, setting boundaries, and tuning into what really matters. When you prioritize peace, you become rich in the ways that truly matter, in presence, in joy, in freedom. And that above all else, is the kind of success that no one can give you, and no one can take away. You are the creator of your reality. This is a profound and empowering truth that holds the key to unlocking your fullest potential. It's easy to believe that life happens to us, that we are victims of circumstances, fate, or other people's actions. But when you take responsibility for your own thoughts, beliefs, and actions, you step into your role as the architect of your life. Your reality is shaped by your perceptions, choices, and how you respond to the world around you. The life you live right now is a direct result of the energy you've put out, the thoughts you've entertained, and the decisions you've made. When you realize you are the creator of your reality, you stop blaming external forces for your unhappiness or lack of progress. You stop waiting for the right time or perfect conditions to act. Instead, you recognize that you have the power to shift your mindset, change your approach, and influence the course of your life. It's not always about changing your external circumstances immediately, but about changing your internal dialogue. How you think about yourself, your dreams, and your challenges directly affects the direction your life takes. Your thoughts are not just fleeting. They are the seeds from which your reality grows. In this process of creation, your beliefs are your foundation. If you believe you are capable of achieving your dreams, you will start to take the necessary actions to make them a reality. If you believe that success is not for you, or that you're not worthy of love, peace, or prosperity, your actions will reflect those beliefs. The key is to become aware of the beliefs you've been holding on to, especially the ones that limit you. Once you recognize them, you have the power to replace them with beliefs that support the person you're becoming. Every thought you think, every word you speak, and every action you take is a brushstroke in the masterpiece of your life. You are not a passive observer in your own life. You are a participant, a co-creator, and a powerful force in shaping the experiences you have. The universe responds to the energy you put out. When you are aligned with your desires, when your thoughts and actions are in harmony with your highest self, things begin to flow naturally. Opportunities appear, the right people show up, and the synchronicities you've been waiting for start happening. But this alignment comes from within. It comes from a place of self-trust, self-worth, and a deep belief that you are deserving of all that you desire. Your reality is a reflection of your inner state. If you're constantly anxious, fearful, or uncertain, you will attract situations that mirror those emotions. But when you cultivate inner peace, confidence, and positivity, you create a ripple effect that extends outward. The more you elevate your vibration, the more you raise your frequency to match the things you want to manifest. It's about aligning yourself with the energy of abundance, love, and possibility, not from a place of need, but from a place of abundance. When you create that inner harmony, everything around you shifts. Understanding that you are the creator of your reality also means you can create the life you want by taking deliberate, consistent action. Dreams don't manifest by mere wishful thinking. They require focus, dedication, and resilience. When you know you are the creator, you no longer feel like you're at the mercy of circumstances. Instead, you step into your power and take inspired action toward your goals, knowing that each step you take is a building block for the life you envision. Your actions are guided by purpose, not by reaction, and each decision you make brings you closer to the reality you desire. You also realize that setbacks are part of the process, not roadblocks. When you accept that you are the creator of your reality, you stop seeing failure as a permanent condition. Instead, you understand that obstacles are simply opportunities for growth, learning, and redirection. They are part of the journey. Your mindset shifts from "I can't do this" to "I will learn from this and keep moving forward." The more resilient you become, the more you empower yourself to create the reality you desire. No matter what challenges arise, you are not limited by your past or your circumstances. Your past does not define your future unless you allow it to. When you embrace the truth that you are the creator of your reality, you free yourself from the limitations of old stories, negative patterns, and past mistakes. You are always evolving, always learning, and always growing. You are not bound to where you've been, but instead you have the power to decide where you want to go. Your past may have shaped you, but it doesn't determine your future. Your future is created by the choices you make today. When you take full responsibility for the creation of your reality, you also acknowledge the power of your intuition. Your inner voice is your guide. It is the wisdom that directs you toward your highest path. You begin to trust your gut feelings, your instincts, and the subtle signs from the universe that steer you in the right direction. The more you listen to your intuition, the clearer your path becomes. You start to realize that the answers you seek are already within you, and that you don't need to look outside yourself for validation or direction. You are the source of the wisdom that guides your life. The more you embrace this truth, the more you realize that you can create not just one reality but many. Each day is a new opportunity to create, to shift, and to build a life that resonates with your deepest desires. You are not bound by one version of your story. You can rewrite it at any moment. Your power is not fixed, it is fluid and ever expanding. When you embody the idea that you are the creator of your reality, you realize that you can design your life with intention, and that the life of your dreams is not only possible, but within your reach. As you step into the truth that you are the creator of your reality, remember that this is a journey of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. Every choice you make, every thought you think, and every action you take is shaping the life you are living. The power to design your future lies within you. Trust yourself, trust the process, and trust that the universe is always working in your favor. Your reality is not something that happens to you. It is something you create, and with each step forward, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Keep believing in your ability to shape your life, and watch as the world begins to align with the energy you put out.